Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tomb Raider. We've got to get going straight off the bat here, so we can't really hang about for any major long introductions, I'm afraid, because we've got to get this water level dropped so that we can get some breath. So if we just follow this tunnel the whole way down and around, we'll get this switch, which will lower the water level and allow us to not drown. A very easy trap to fall into. Right at the start of the level, they just throw that at you, where you're kind of underwater and there's no way out until you find that switch. This level is the Tomb of Tihocan, and I think I said in the last part that this is a level that I don't remember a whole lot of. I had a run through this level earlier, and while I'm still not 100% on always remembering where everything is, I'm fairly sure I can get it. This is definitely a level that it kind of changes midway through. Like you hear tomb and you don't think sewer, yet most of this level feels like a sewer, which is kind of weird, to be honest, but however, it's fine. First thing that we need to do is going to be to get jumping across this way. And we could take that platform to the right. I prefer to take this one just because it's extremely... Whoops. It's extremely difficult. Oh, wait, hold on. No, that's a different platform. Never mind. I'm getting confused with later in the level. Don't mind me. It is this one we want to be taking. Had we gone this way, we wouldn't have activated the dart trap. Not that it's too much of a problem. We are just going to jump right over it anyway. So it's not too much of a problem. Where we do need to go, though, is up here to hit this switch, which is going to fill this room with water. It's going to be a bit of a theme, moving water this level. Although it does give me a great opportunity to do a nice little swan dive. So with that done, we're going to quickly swim under here. So this block has now risen. Don't ask me how a stone block floats, but it's now floating, allowing us access to this little passage back here, where we can get a small medipack. It's only a little small thing, but it's worth getting nonetheless. And now that we can access this tunnel, we're going to take it. Now, we've got a crocodile in here, if I remember right. Oh, no, hold on. This part is where we're going to have a bit of fun, actually. This switch activates the current in the tunnel up ahead. And without activating this, there's no way you would be able to make it to the very end in one breath. So by doing that, it's lowered this water level again, I think. But it allows us to go super fast. Woohoo! Then at the very end, we can just pop our head up. And we'll climb out to deal with this rat. There we go. So, whoa, that was close. With that out of the way, we're going to need to pull this block out. And I think this is the bit I was thinking about earlier, where there's a number of platforms here that we can take. Yeah. So I was talking about this platform here, and there isn't really another option. It's just that this can be quite an annoying platform to try to grab first time. So if you aim for like the kind of... There's a very small like line that separates tiles in this game. So if you can manage to kind of find yourself standing on the divide between the two tiles and then jump, you'll pretty much make it most of the time. So from here, we've got a couple of awkward jumps. So we need to make it to here without falling off. And then take a standing jump up to here. And yes, we're going to have our friend Pierre turn up again. It's okay. It's really close quarters, so we're going to blast the fuck out of him with the shotgun. Don't tell me he's already gone, is he? Nope. Now he is. So with that dealt with, we are going to follow this around. And we're going to have a little trap. You might remember these from Palace Midas, and they're a little bit easier to deal with when there's only one of them. So you just walk up to pretty much as close as you can get, and another step and we'd be in it getting killed. And just as soon as it starts to open again, hit a roll. Because we're going down a stair, I stayed facing forward, but if you do that before facing forward, or if you do that when you're not on a stair, you will end up, you know, facing back in towards us, so just don't go forward and into it. So we do have a crocodile below us here that we need to take care of. It is very small quarters, but that's okay. We actually somehow didn't take any damage there. So it's important to take this route first. You can get these goodies later on, but there's one thing in this room that you can't get later on, and that's the first secret of this level. And one thing to note, and I always found this really jarring, this level only has 2 secrets, whereas most other levels have 3, and I always was left feeling as if I had been missing something. But there is only actually 2 secrets in this level. So to activate the secret, these corner panels here are actually pressure pads. This corner, the corner in there, and this corner here. And we need to hit them in that order. So this one, and then this one. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then this far one. And then that door opens. And our secret chime will ring, but our items are a little bit above us. So again, with the likes of these kind of slide challenges, it's just face back, jump back, and then just hold the jump button until you get the chance to grab the ledge. There's not a whole lot to that one. It's just literally make sure you're facing the right way and just hold jump. You will make it. So with that down, we'll just slide our way back down. Now, we do have to go back through that trap, which will demonstrate my point earlier about how when you would normally tackle those kind of traps and roll through them, you will end up facing back the way you came. So it will activate as soon as I step here. So we wait until it's opening and just slide through. And away we go. So from here, it's quite difficult to make that jump back to that platform. So what I tend to do is just drop down, take a little bit of damage, but that's okay because we can climb back up pretty easily by going this way. And it saves us having to make the rather challenging jump back to that platform over there. So from here, we've got another slightly difficult jump in that we're going to try to go the whole way across there to those shotgun shells. And yes, for those of you who have noticed, that is a pendulum axe trap. It's okay though, it won't activate as we make this jump, but I am going to make a quick save in case I screw this up. Alright, let's do it. First try. So this axe trap won't even activate if we stand under it. We can pick that up and absolutely nothing will happen. So now we're going to take a run and jump back. And this time instead, we're going to make our running jump to this platform. And this will activate that axe trap. There it goes. So we're now back on the path to actually progress through this level, and we need to make that jump through the axe to that passage behind it. It can be a tricky jump. I don't find it that much, as long as you kind of... Well, I suppose I'll demonstrate. So if we're here, we just jump back. Yes, it will hit you if you stand there, so don't hang around. Take your one jump back, and then as it hits its highest point, swinging right, is when we start to go. Because once it does, it will be tucked into the left when we actually hit our jump point, which is perfectly fine, and we get to make our way through. So for here, we've got a little bit of shimmying to do. Below us here is the room where we got the first secret with the pressure pads. So dropping from this distance is liable to kill us. So don't do that. We need to shimmy the whole way down and climb up at the very end here. And that will bring us the whole way around. And actually, you may have heard there the sound of a door. This being here makes the door to that secret close if it was open. I'm not sure why. It just does. Because what that switch does is fill that whole area with water. So if we did this first and then dropped down to here, there's no way to activate those pressure pads to open the secret door. So you have to do that first, which we did, so it's grand. But just bear that in mind if you are trying to replicate this in your own run. So for some really weird reason, no matter what we do, we can't shoot this rat until we get, like, really close. Like, still nothing. Now he activates. And I don't know why we can't shoot him until he activates. It's really odd to me. But, however, it is what it is. So, from here, we are going to follow this passage around. And if memory serves, there is a wee crocodile somewhere around here. Or maybe it's not this one. I think it might be the next one that there's a crocodile. So we're going to get jumped by a lion here. There we go. There we go. Problem sorted. So as you can see, there are spikes here. And there is a keyhole there. It's useless to us at present. We do not have the key. And there's nothing else to do in that way. On the PlayStation version, there would also be a save crystal here, which is really generous of them, considering. But we're going to be really patient here, and we're going to take these gorilla down from here. So we're just going to wait until the opportunity presents itself, and then pop a few shots away as they pass by. It does take a little bit of time, but it completely removes the problem of fighting them up there with the potential of being knocked down onto those spikes. Okay, there's one down. To be fair, I would feel fairly comfortable... Oh, I was going to say, I would feel fairly comfortable taking one on, but if he's just going to present himself like that, then we'll just take him down. Now, where we need to get is actually up there, behind that door. And where is the switch, you might ask? Well, I most certainly didn't completely forget about it, but it is right behind here. Pretty easy to miss as well, because it's just the switch kind of in the wall instead of a usual full panel tile that would suggest a switch. But with that open, now we can actually go that way. But we did all the hard work for ourselves, at least, so it wasn't a waste. So, it is very easy to be misled by this. You will not make a jump to that, to where the door is. You have to make the jump to the side here and catch the crack in the wall. Otherwise, you will fall, you will die, you will get impaled on some spikes, and it will not be fun. But in here, we have our key, as well as a large medipack, which is awful generous of them, to be fair. But I suppose they probably expected you to take a ton of damage from fighting those two gorilla in such close quarters. So in order to get out of here, we need to make a running jump in order to clear that, because we will hit the roof. So a running jump will just get us absolutely no problem across. And then from here, we can go and use this gold key. Now, I don't know why, but when we do this, the secret chime rings. I don't understand why, because we haven't activated a secret, and we absolutely have to do this. So I've never really understood why that was the case. And just in case anyone's curious, these blocks don't hide anything behind them or under them. So there's not really much point of trying to check for secrets or whatnot, because there isn't anything here. And it's honestly one of just those really bizarre things that Eidos seemed to do. So we'll take this one at a time. We're not going to rush it. We're not under any time constraints here. So we just make running jumps the whole way across, and we will be perfectly fine. There we go. And we're just going to quickly nip out just to grab this little small medipack first. Now, this might seem rather familiar, considering the last few levels. We've got a series of doors, a door that needs multiple keys, and we've got pressure pads. Yes, that is what those four are. They are pressure pads. Believe it or not, it took me a long time to figure that out when I was a lot younger, but that is what they are. So we need to grab this block and push it around those four, one by one. And most doors will trigger an enemy. There's only one that doesn't. So this one opens the door behind us, which will release a gorilla into the room. Yeah, there he is. I tend to use it as my easy dodge to just jump up on that anytime a door with enemies behind it opens, just to get it out of the way. Now, this is where we'll find some shotgun shells. And our first... Oh no, it's not. Never mind. Sorry, I've completely lied to you. So, funnily enough, and I probably should have mentioned this beforehand, for progression in this level, you only actually need to open 2 doors. There is only a key behind 2 of these doors. Behind the other 2 is items and enemies. So, this next one will open the other door, which is the one to my right that we haven't opened yet. Or actually, is it? No, it's not. It's the one to my left. But this one doesn't release any enemies, so we're safe. But I say safe, we are very much not safe, because if you take a glance into this room before we go, there are boulders waiting, and a very nice, cleverly laid trap for us. Do not attempt to get that medikit. As soon as we set foot in here, both of those boulders are going to activate, so we need to get over to that far platform straight away. And it's not particularly difficult, we just jump, and both boulders will roll harmlessly by. But it is a devilish little trick that I am so sure caught a lot of people out back in the day. So with that all sorted, let's grab our first key. And again, they're kind of reusing this whole rusty key kind of deal, but rusty key and gold keys. But, you know, hey-ho, it is what it is. So next up, we're going to push it to this third spot. And this one will open the door just to our right. And that will also release 4 rats. So we're going to jump straight up onto the block before they can become in any way a problem. Not that rats tend to be much of a problem in general, but a swarm of them can be a little bit irksome. So in here, all we actually get is just a small medipack. And to be fair, considering it's just, yeah, kill these 4 rats, it's pretty much just a free medipack. And I'll never turn my nose up at a free healing item. Or first aid item, whatever you prefer to qualify them as. So this one actually opens 2 doors. It opens... Oh, no, wait, that's the one I've already done. Oh, I'm getting so turned around in this room. So, the block that I want this one to be on is the one to my left. So I'm just going to have to pull this back onto this. And weirdly enough, once you open a door, they stay open. So if you really wanted to, you could just pull this block around all 4 and then go into the rooms. If you wanted to. I don't know if that would actually be more efficient. Possibly. It's probably worth a try. So this pressure pad is what I was talking about. Will open 2 doors. One being the one straight above us, and the other one being the one over to our right, which releases another gorilla. Which isn't too much of a problem, because he will just kind of run around aimlessly because he can't get to us. He's practically dead now anyway. A couple more shots and he will drop. There we go. In this room that the gorilla came from, there is some shotgun shells. And that is it. There's nothing else in this room. But it is always nice to get a free bit of shotgun ammo in exchange for a fairly easy kill. Now, what we need to do next is up here. So it's why I leave this one till last, is because the block needs to be here in order for us to actually get up. Well, actually, you probably could jump up, but it's probably much of a muchness, to be fair. So again, this is just the rinse and repeat situation of we're just going to roll through it as it starts to open. Grab our large medikit and the second rusty key. So with that all taken care of, one more step. There we go. We'll make our way back out. No, okay, so I was actually right. You can't... Maybe you can... No, okay, so that block has to be there. So you're probably better off leaving that one till last so that you can have a route up to it. So with both of those rusty keys, we'll now open this door. Side jump over to here and use the other one. And this is the point I was talking about where the level just seems to change. So all of a sudden we go from a kind of a brick-built sewer kind of feel to caves. Which kind of struck me as a bit odd, but however. Now, this is where we're going to get the second secret. It is quite tricky to get, and I will talk us through this before we do it because it's quite difficult to explain as we do. We'll start going down this slope, and there will come a point where the camera perspective will switch to show the pool of water at the bottom. At that point, we need to jump and veer as left as possible, and we will land on a slope that will be pushing us back down onto this main slope. What we need to do is just hold down jump, and Lara will jump back and forth across the left and right slopes over the main slope down into the water. At that point, we need to start inching our way right, and we will eventually land on a flat platform, and that will be the entrance to our secret. That sounds rather complex. And it's not particularly easy to pull off. But hopefully we can demonstrate this first try and not mess it up. So as soon as we see that, we jump, veer left, hold down jump, and we will just... I'm not even holding any direction buttons here. She's literally just going to continue jumping back and forth as long as I hold down jump. So with that, we're just going to press right, and we will land on this platform. And if you just kind of breeze on by it, there's no way back up. There's no way to get back to this. And I would love to tell you that that's it. That's the secret. That's everything. But it's not. We have to make our way across this, as if this wasn't challenging enough. And if you screw this up and those platforms break, you don't get it. That's it. You only get one try at this. So the way that I tend to do this is we take one step back, and then we're going to jump forward, left, forward, forward, right, forward. And that should get us into that alcove. So we go forward, left, forward. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, well, no, we're going to be all right. Go. No! And there is the unfortunate part, because there is... Oops. There's no way to make that jump up to there. Not with that platform in the way. So we will... Luckily, we have the ability to just reload that, and we will be able to get it. So we just need to make sure not to run like we did there. There we go. And here we'll get some Uzi clips, which we still haven't gotten, and we are racking up quite a lot of ammo for. Now, the weird thing about this secret is, obviously if you manage to get to that last platform, you know, you should have gotten this secret. If you fall on that last platform, you can still not reach that. So it wasn't even the platform in the way. You still can't make that. So if you fell on the last hurdle, it's so frustrating and disappointing. Even though you can make this jump, which always struck me as a little bit odd, but however. So now with that out of the way, we're going to slide the rest of the way back down. We do need to get going because this croc is hungry. So pop up here, and we don't necessarily need to take care of him because he doesn't really tend to be much of a problem, but I do like to do it just in case. So with that done, we are going to follow this passage around, and it will rise a couple of ledges up, and then we'll have a kind of high vantage point above some water, which will be in here. So the misleading thing about this is that you might think you're supposed to try to jump to those two platforms just ahead there. They're both slopes, and they will send you careening down, which is obviously not what you want. What we actually want is to make it to that flat platform over there, which isn't immediately obvious. So we're gonna... It's a pretty easy jump to make once you know it's there, and then you can just jump straight up. And the reason that we have to do this first is we need to hit this switch, which will open an underwater gate. Again, we don't know where that is at this moment in time, but that's fine, because we'll be going that way very soon. So with that done, we can drop down, and there is... Ah, here we go. There's a passage out that we can follow, which will bring us back to that main big room where we saw the crocodile. We'll just grab a quick bit of breath here. So that there would be the passage we just took, and where we're actually looking to go is this way. Now, quick word of warning. Do not get out of the water yet. And I mean that. Do not get out of the water yet. We've got one last thing we need to do. So we'll need to swim down. And I always struggle to find this. And I have no idea why. It's under here. And... Oh, here we go. Right. Behind and up. This is the door that we literally just opened. And that allows us to pop up here to yet another switch. And this switch will open that door. So there's absolutely no point in getting out of the water to do anything there until you've opened that door. Plus, when we do get out of the water, we get treated to a little surprise, for want of a better term. I want to be on the other side here, just so as I can have a better vantage for this. So, I tend to use the magnums here. And we've got plenty of ammo, so that's fine. This statue ahead of us, it ain't a statue. As soon as we go forward, it will spring to life in explosive fashion. So let's give this a go. There we go. And he is gonna string loads of fireballs at us. And the reason I want it to be over here is we can pretty much dodge all of them by just jumping back and forth. And he does explode. Those explosions do tend to do quite a lot of damage. In the PlayStation version, there is a save crystal here so that you can save after what is probably supposed to be quite a difficult fight. Particularly considering you're probably pretty unprepared for it. So, in here, we finally get our final showdown with Pierre. And again, all of a sudden, this place changes again into this, like, really regal, finally looking tomb.
A little late for the prize giving, no? Still, it is the taking part which counts.
So he's not too much of a problem. Just pump him full of shotgun shells, and he does go down. And he drops a gold key. If you hadn't already gotten the magnums, you will get them here as well. And we get the second part of the Scion, which he has somehow already nicked from this pedestal. The sneaky bastard. So, with that done, we are pretty much done with this level. There's just one or two last things to do, the first of which being on both sides of this room, there are magnum ammo just lying about. And you can see the other one straight across there. So we'll quickly run around to grab that. And you can see the keyhole there that the gold key goes into that we just picked up off Pierre. We have no idea where he got it from. And to be honest, I don't really care where he got it from. We've got it now, and that's really all that matters. So with all that picked up, whoops, we will grab this slightly hidden large medipack over here, and then we'll use our gold key. And that will open that. Through that door is the end of the level. Now, one thing I just want to show, and I don't know why you would need to, but if perchance you decide to go back out, the other statue will trigger. There we go. So just for completion's sake, we'll take them down. We don't need to. It doesn't give us anything. It's just a matter of I don't know why it activates when you come back out, but it does, because once you're in here, you have everything else to finish the level. There's absolutely no reason to leave this room. But there you go. I just figured I'd show that one off. So once we walk through here, we get the end of the level, and there's a nice little cutscene for you guys.
Here lies Tihocan, one of the 2 just rulers of Atlantis, who even after the curse of the continent had tried to keep rule here in these barren other lands. He died without child, and his knowledge has no heritage. Look over us kindly, Tihocan.
And there we have it. So that's the full Tomb of Tihocan, and we're now going to completely change setting. The next few levels, we're going to go after whatever the next thing is. The last part of the Scion, I think it is. So 17 kills, which honestly compared to the last few levels, that's nothing. We've had like up and above of 25, 30 kills in previous levels. This one always felt like a bit of an easier level once you know where you're going and what you're doing. 2 secrets out of 2 always jarred me that there's only 2 in this level, because I would have spent ages looking for a third one, having only found 2. But there is actually only 2 in this level, and 33 minutes time taken. So that's that done, and we will pick up the next level in the next part. And until then, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll talk to you real soon.